Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I would like to first of all say thank you to those of you all who have been supporting the work at home discussions. And for those of you all who have yet to be on board, this is your opportunity. We will continue to have kitchen table discussions on Nicole McGuire Media's business page on Facebook. And these kitchen table discussions will be live, so you'll get an opportunity to talk to me directly. Now, we're going to start off this particular audio as well as video with an article that I came across since the last work at home discussion, and that article is titled State of Remote Work 2018 Report What It's Like to Be a Remote Worker in 2018. What is interesting is because when you see this particular article years from now, you'll be able to compare how things were in 2018 to how they are in 2020, 25, and beyond. So as I was going through and just scrolling, I found that 43% of the workforce, according to the article, has spent at least some time working remotely. So this isn't anything new because some people have been doing just that for some time now. What I like, though, is the article does get into how the remote workers are satisfied, the struggles, the benefits, and some other interesting information about working from home. Okay, this particular site, just so you know, is open.buffer.com/state remote work 2018. So, one of the things that I've found about working from home, just from my personal experience, is that you are going to have to make sure that you have the time, the energy, the motivation, and of course be distraction free. And this is something that I've had to do over the years, is just make sure that I had all of those things in line. If I didn't, then I knew that whatever opportunity I was looking at or whatever job I was working from home, it was going to fail. And there is no one to blame but yourself, because you're not treating it like a job. Instead, you're just treating it as something that is like a hobby, something that other people would look at you and say you're not taking it seriously. So how satisfied are remote workers? Well, according to the article, 90% of remote workers plan on working remotely for the rest of their careers. So that sounds like they're pretty happy, okay? And for some of you all, you have not only wanted to do this, but you prayed about it and you feel as if the Lord is leading you in that direction. I would not be surprised, because if you look at it, Jesus, he wasn't walking the planet based on a 9-to-5 schedule. Jesus knew he had a mission and he didn't limit himself. But if you're working for somebody else, you are limited. You have to do things based on what they want. You have to follow their handbook. You have to go to work. When they tell you to go to work, you have to have your space maintained in the way that they want you to maintain it, and on and on. And so for some of you all, you're tired of that. At 40, 50, 60 plus years old. I get it. And so this is your option, to work remotely, to look for jobs that will help you work away from the office rather than in the office. So do you plan on working remotely the rest of your career? 90% of those who were interviewed said yes. You see, once you get a taste of working remotely, you're not going to want to go back to the old cubicle life. I am a witness, okay? You don't. 70% of the respondents are full-time remote workers, okay, that this particular company interviewed. But that leaves 30% who have incorporated remote work into their schedules in some way, but not fully. So for some of you all just starting, you are not 100% working from home. Some of you all are still having additional employment. You have some side hustles, if you will, while you're doing some things from home. And that's been what I've done over the years, on and off. I never wanted to do any one thing all the time. I always wanted to have a varied income stream. So some of my monies was from home, some of my monies was from a job outside the home, and some of you all know the rest if you checked out the video/audio on income streams that we had in a past work at home discussion. If you haven't, by all means, that live stream is up and it's on my business page, Nicholl McGuire Media, on Facebook. So as you can see, it turns out a majority of 60% are interested in increasing the amount of time they work remotely in 2018. Okay, and so if you're listening to this, chances are that's what you want to do. Now, I have some businesses that are in my network who they're looking for the remote workers. That's why they are tuning in. They are looking for some of you all who are quite interested in additional income streams. And so I suggest that you reach out to me, tell me what your interest is, and then I can direct you to some of my contacts who are looking for remote workers. However, I will let you know I am a work at home coach. So if you want one-on-one time with me, there is a modest cost for that. And by all means, you can just send me an email and we can go over that. That's NichollMcGuire@gmail.com. The year of 2018 might be the year we see increasing numbers of employees asking their employers for more time spent working remotely. There's quite a bit of support for these folks, as a whopping, listen to this, 94% of the remote workers they surveyed on this site said that they encourage others to work remotely. So there is definitely something to this working remotely, whether it's from home, at the office, even at a cafe. Okay. So this is good. Now notice, what's the biggest benefit to working remotely? Flexible schedule. That's what most of us wanted when we decided that we wanted to just get away from the 9 to 5 or the 12, or I should say the 11 to 7 or the 3 to 11 or whatever. We were thinking about a flexible schedule. Can I be able to still get paid, work my business when I am able to work it, rather than on a rigid schedule? Okay. And this may be the draw for some of you all. Then, of course, there are those who they wanted to spend more time with their family. That's why they started working remotely, because they found themselves always leaving, right? And there's just no time to be with the family. And then, as you can see, 12% ability to travel, 11% work environment, 9% work from home, 4% avoid office politics, 3% exercise regularly, and other 3%. So notice the biggest benefit to working remotely was not to work from home, but it was that flexible schedule. Okay, that is the key, because you see there is a lot of stuff in people's homes that cause all sorts of distractions, and so therefore you have the individuals who are simply like, you know what, no, I don't want to do this. So they will take their businesses away from home and have them in an office location. So some people, they have the flexible schedule, but they are working their business not at home. Okay, children, maybe an unsupportive partner, maybe they have some people that are there that are even taking up space. And then, of course, you got some people who live in busy neighborhoods and others who have a lot of distraction within their apartment complex, and so they've got to find a place to work remotely, but just not at home. So that happens. So this is what we're looking at, okay, for right now as far as remote workers. Now, the biggest struggle with working remotely, I can tell you, hands down, for me, it was not being able to communicate with people in person. I started developing a bit of a social phobe. I would go out and I would start to fear and worry and be concerned about all sorts of things related to people. And that was simply because I was spending more time in front of machine than in front of man, you see. I'm not surprised to see that loneliness is one of the factors or struggles, because you do get lonely if you're in front of a computer all the time, okay? The other issue, collaborating and communicating. It can be difficult when you work remotely to get people to work with you. It can be difficult to communicate with people since there's so many different ways of communicating, and not everybody likes to be connected in the same way, so calls are missed, instructions are just given way too late because somebody didn't check their email, and some of you all know the rest. We did mention distractions at home. That's a struggle. Staying motivated is really big, and I will be talking about this sort of thing in my work at home challenges, kitchen table discussion, time zone challenges, finding reliable Wi-Fi, and other. Okay, it can be quite difficult, and I've experienced the time zone challenges. When I went from California to Georgia, I experienced the Wi-Fi issues repeatedly. So there was a long while there that I did not make any consistent money, because every time I turned around there was something going on with the internet, and I didn't feel comfortable signing up with the company knowing that I was going to have all these Wi-Fi issues, because in the one neighborhood they were just now at that time putting down some line for Wi-Fi. I know. So they were behind in the times in that neighborhood, and therefore they had their share of issues too with the Wi-Fi, and their issues became my issues when it came to money. So these are things that remote workers deal with. Notice this quote here by Amir: by 2020, over half of the employees will work remotely, but we still have not figured everything out to make this work. So some of you all who have some suggestions when it comes to working remotely, some of you all that don't mind sharing your experiences, as well as businesses who are in need of remote workers, by all means, do reach out. Let me know what is going on with you, so that I can be able to share your information with others. Okay, now the other information is good, and by all means you can check that information out. A lot of people are working from home, literally working from home, but then, like I said, if you've got a lot of distractions at home, people are working from an office. They are sharing a space somewhere where it's quiet and productive, and then there are those who are meeting at cafes around our land, and then there's other, which we don't know what other is, but they're finding a way to get their work done. Could be in a car somewhere. So this is good for those of you all who want to work from home, because what it says is that this is popular, that this is working for people, that all of the old myths and no, you can't do it, well, that's out the window, because people are doing it. People are getting their bills paid. People are not doing things in the traditional way of just getting a job any longer. They are having varied income streams, and they're doing it in so many different ways, and it's not just about going into an office and sitting at a cubicle. So thank you, as always, for showing support. Please do take the time to go over to www.facebook.com/Nicholl McGuire Media. See what the latest video, audio that I have up, and by all means join in on the discussion. We have some coming up in March, in April, and beyond. So please do check those messages out. Thank you, and blessings to you.